Welcome, everybody. We've got kicking off our September monthly call. We'll have these back on schedule with the second Tuesday of every month. Next month, I've already got teed up for another guest speaker and topic that we're going to be covering. I don't know how to sum it up just yet, so I'll make sure to put up a post about it and put it in our newsletter, but it's going to be talking about what are some efficiencies and successful tips for communication via using your CRM system. And if you use automated text, do you have, when do you have a person jump in? What kind of text do you put in? How do you personalize those? And we're going to have Bryant Powers from CrossFit Oahu talking about that. He's got a great system for that for all variety of different scenarios. They get a ton of drop-ins and people that come from out of town semi-regularly. So he's got different ways of responding depending on if you've been to the gym before, but you're not necessarily a regular member, or you have CrossFit experience versus you're brand new. And we're going to kind of put you in more of like an educational drip. So we're going to talk about his systems, how he organizes those all. And he's just fun to talk to. He's got lots of great ideas, and like many of us, has learned through trial and error. So, and if anyone has anything they'd like to share on that call, it'll definitely be interactive. For this month, we are gearing up for the Affiliate Summit Saturday. Oh my gosh, I'm going to send out the agenda today to everyone who registered. We've got a really good size group. It actually just keeps climbing up and up. So hopefully everyone who wanted to go has gotten in. And we're going to have a full schedule of speakers. We've got some speakers coming from CrossFit. We've got some coming from the community, from yourselves, affiliate owners. We've got some from the partnerships that we have. So specifically, we'll have HSN mentoring talking. We'll have best hour of their day. And we'll also have push press. They're to be giving some talks to the affiliate owners. And we're going to have a separate track going on for coaches. So if anyone's bringing a coach or manager or one of their head trainers, they can participate in some of the larger group stuff, but they're going to, for a majority of the affiliate owner discussions, they're going to be swept off to a different group, and they're going to be getting really a deep dive into the insides of coaching. Yes, some touching on coaches development, which we've had at previous summits, but I think what's really cool about this segment is they're also going to hear from coaches in the community and talking about their experiences and how they handle different challenges. And so I'm really excited for anyone that is also bringing some guests to attend the coaches portion of that. I actually had one person being like, oh, I don't think I can make the summit. They're like semi-local somewhere in SoCal because we have a coaches meeting. And I was like, literally bring them and do your meeting at lunch and have them get all this free help at the coaches segment, So I don't know that he'll be able to take me up on that. But anyway, so prior to that, I thought it'd be fun to get a little bit of a check in with some of our affiliates in the region, some of our affiliate council members, and also two people that will be speaking on the panel that we're going to have at the summit. So I asked Craig Howard and Zia Rohrmar to kind of hop on and chat with us a little bit. Zia, I know you were kind of a last minute maybe, so you can let Craig take the wheel if you'd like and chime in. But I just thought it'd be nice to hear from some others in the community about kind of where we're at this point in the year, how we're looking at things in terms of CrossFit in respect to your business, and how some things like the summit can really tie everything together. So I don't know if that's a good enough introduction for you, Craig, or if you want to.
No, that's good. I'm looking forward to the meeting. And I would encourage CrossFit to make sure there's plenty of opportunities to talk to one another throughout the day. I just was on a call with the Mideast with Andrew Chatsworth and his Mideast group, and one of the things that they shared amongst each other was the need to get together as affiliate owners and talk to one another, how powerful that is and how motivating that is. I still get a lot of motivation myself, so I would encourage, like, if your agenda is lacking, just fill it up with time where we can get together and talk as affiliate owners, as much time as possible talking together as affiliate owners.
Yeah, I agree. We've definitely reworked the summit from a year and a half ago when there wasn't as much of that. And that was definitely some consistent feedback. So adding in for one, we have a carved out, I think it's an hour and a half of it's sort of a in-person round table. So something similar to this size. You'll kind of circle your chairs up and you'll have prompts to chat about that are loose prompts if you guys end up taking it in your group in a different direction. But you really get to hear from each person. Each person gets a time to speak and just sharing a little bit about where you're at as an owner, as a person, where you're at in your journey. What are some things that are working well or things that you're struggling with? And it's really nice to hear how much we have in common and and a lot of times you can hear how someone is dealing with something and maybe it gives you a new perspective on what you've got in front of you. So we have that carved out. We also have an extended lunch period. So we're going to have, I think for sure, an hour and 15 minutes. And there's a chance if we bank a little bit more. And then when we do our restroom coffee breaks, instead of doing like a quick 5 or 10, we tried to pad those with more of like a 15 plus. So there's a little more chance to have a chat and not just quick restroom, grab the water, sit. And then having a little bit of flexibility there, I think throughout the day will be nice. And
That's
then
awesome.
we added was the panel. So we'll have you guys up there and that'll be another way. It's different because it's not the one-on-one small fireside chat, but that will be another chance to affiliate owners talking to affiliate owners. So super valuable.
One of the nice things about that I think Z and I have enjoyed with the affiliate council is the opportunity to talk to the folks that are running CrossFit at least once a month, and then periodically. Zia's got everybody's text number, so she's able to text everybody. But to be able to provide them feedback from an affiliate perspective as to the things that are needed, the things that we'd like to see, and then our opinion on the things that and how they're doing. I mean, it's these region meetings like this that really provide us a ton of kind of input to be able to gain access, and hopefully we did Z and I we comment as well as with the other affiliate owners that are on the council, is like we're trying to as much as possible be the influencers to influence and sway the direction of CrossFit from an affiliate perspective. And so it's these meetings that they give us the opportunity to talk to affiliate owners to get that and then relay that influence to management.
Yeah, I think it's kind of neat that we can have some time also for affiliate owners to talk to you to make sure that that gets relayed forward, right? Like, there's so many different sides of CrossFit. I think a commonality I've heard a lot since I started working in this role was that a lot of people from the outside just look at CrossFit as like one thing, but there are so many segmented portions that even someone like myself that works within it can sometimes feel like we're not all hearing each other or communicating. And so it's hard for everyone to understand what the consensus may be among affiliate owners or some common trends that we're seeing if we don't have your voices coming through. So whether you're talking to your rep, you're talking to someone on the council, you're talking to each other, and then, coming into a call like this where someone can share some things that you've all come across. Those are the messages we're trying to get through. I know those are the messages I hear and see Zia and Craig and the others on the council trying to kind of champion for when they do talk to the executives, and it's important.
And let me tell you about the common thing. The people that are on that council, Ian and Gavin from CrossFit Glasgow, Glasgow, I was told it's pronounced, and Mikhail from CrossFit Nice in France, even Jason and myself and Zia, and Josh Plosker from Invictus in Boston. One of the things that the common thread between us is we kind of look at each other like, man, are they sure they picked the right people? Because none of us are afraid to say what we really think and what's on our mind. Zia is the best. She'll, the CEO called her. The CEO called her. I won't tell too much, but the CEO called her right after the last town hall, and she gave her honest opinion as to, like, directly, bluntly, as to what she thought, and it's that type of feedback that is super powerful. And I'll say the one thing about CrossFit management right now, whether it's Jada Coons, Jada Coons doesn't give a shit what people say about him. And he'll take it hard on the chin. And same with Don Fall. They're both, all of them, well, so far that we've talked to, are willing to take it hard on the chin when we give them like meaningful, powerful feedback that is maybe 180-degree different than what they thought. Even Austin was at first, he was probably, is Austin going to listen to this call? Z will agree. Austin was probably, because he's OG, but he's very corporate in style. You know, came out of Reebok, and he's very organized, very detailed. But he has even he has really come around to being able to take feedback, listen to our feedback, and then incorporate it into what he's doing. And we feel like, I don't know, over the course of the year, I really, this role as an affiliate council member, I turned it down just because I didn't think it would. One, it's not a paid role. We're not employees. It's a volunteer role. But I also just didn't feel like, it was going to be as meaningful as it has turned out to be. And we have inserted ourselves. All the affiliate owners that are on it are type A go-getter affiliate owners that have strong opinions about CrossFit, the methodology, and what it does for people, and the power of the affiliates. We're the ones that really the indoctrination centers for fucking everything that CrossFit does, from the games to training certifications to the methodology and supporting the methodology to the revenue that is driving through CrossFit. We are the ones, we're the primary force, and we're very strongly opinionated about that. And we've had a voice. It's really remarkable. It's now 8 months or 9 months, and we have influence. and that's kind of a cool thing. And I'd look forward to handing over the reins and my seat to someone else that has that same passion. And we actually started talking to Ziest about who those people would be. And CrossFit's kind of come around, and they listen to us and they ask us, and they'll check in with Zia, check in with me, check in with Josh and Plosker, and some cool shit has developed as a result of it. So it's not just a puppet role. I'm pretty impressed with CrossFit for putting it together and then actually listening and taking our advice.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really thankful that role came to be and that it's actually produced, like you said, some meaningful changes. And you guys didn't, I think initially we weren't sure because nothing had been done before. So we weren't sure if it was going to just be so we could tell everyone we were listening to affiliates. We really are. But yeah, I think a lot of internally, I don't even know if everyone in all the different departments, everyone's just charging full steam ahead with where their directives and what they're in charge of. And so I don't even know if everyone really realizes how much that the affiliate council plays a part, especially for the top level, the CrossFit leadership, because it's not in the day-to-day in every specific department as much as it is. I feel like for me, where I hear from Craig and Zia on a regular basis, which is awesome, helping me kind of guide where we direct things in our region specifically and things that I can relay forward as well. So it's huge. I think the summit is another great place to do that. It's not, maybe you don't have as much opportunity to talk directly to the leadership, but if you haven't had a chance to check in with someone that's in your area, or maybe they're not in your area at all, but they're on a similar path as you. If you haven't shared recently with me things that you're working on with your gym or people you wish you could connect with, that's a really great way to use your rep. Just this week, I was talking to an affiliate owner in Anaheim, and everything he was talking about, the plans he was making, really trying to change the way that they run their affiliate and make it different. And I know a lot of people feel this way as well. Like they're like, I do things a little different. And that's what's so special about this model. But they're like, and we really want to do, and kind of some of the specifics he was getting into made me think of a gym I talked to up in Portland. And I was like, I got to put these guys in, I got to connect them. They have to talk just because they're, yes, totally different areas and different demographics, but they will fuel each other by sharing what they're into and get excited about it. So I sent them both an email connecting them, and they're going to set up a call together just because why not, right? Like, why not hear what someone else is doing that's cool, a little bit different, but they're both trying to take things beyond just the group class model and add additional things. And where other ways can we work with our clients that's unique, this kind of like holistic idea. And so again, if you're interested in that, if you want to talk to other people and share what you're doing, a great way is through me. If you don't want to cold call the affiliate down the road, tell me and I can play matchmaker. I can get you talking with another affiliate. It doesn't have to be bad things. Like neither one of these affiliates, I would say, are struggling. They're actually both doing really well. And so they're connecting so that they can continue that, right? So
I think it's important for affiliate owners to regularly talk to other affiliate owners. That is a big part of this equation with the successful affiliates. My local cohort of affiliates, we have lunch, we have coffee, we text on the phone, we are constantly in communication. The affiliates that just keep their head down and talk to only themselves and shut everyone else out, it's just a lonely place to be. Talk to other affiliates. It's so important. They are not your competition. They are your community. They can be great friends. It's just really important that we're our own communities, but we're also a part of this larger community. Craig, how often do you think you and I speak?
hourly.
Well, we text
Every
she's
day.
yeah, almost every day now. We either have a conversation or a text message. And I'll say that, longer than that, we if I go back to pre-pandemic, I used to get together quarterly with Kelly Starrett and Juliet Starrett, CrossFit San Francisco, there's OGs. TJ Belger from TJ's gym, great guy, amazing speaker, and runs an amazing gym. And then Jason Kalipa too, when he was NorCal CrossFit, and we would get together once a quarter. We would just rotate places. We'd get together, and we just get together for a couple of hours and shoot the shit, talk about what we're doing, what's happening in our affiliate, those kinds of things. It did a couple of things. One, we shared ideas, and it kept us as resource contacts for each other, like in case we had particular issues to follow up on or we needed help with. Juliet Starrett, for example, she's the one that lectured me multiple times about making my independent contractors employees to keep me from getting shut down altogether and taxed to hell. So but it's those types of things, but also it created a little bit of a competitive environment, right? Our fitness gets better when we're in group classes, I think. But one of the reasons was we got someone to kind of look at across the room, just go, I want to beat that person, or I want to mimic what they're doing, or and so it creates that little bit of a competitive environment as well. But it's always been helpful to have those relationships in those contexts, just in case I need them. Hey, have you considered this? Hey, have you thought about this? Hey, those types of things. I would encourage, if you're not doing it, do it not only for yourself, but to help other affiliate owners in your area. There's a lot of them that just aren't going to take the initiative to do it. They're going to feel threatened by it. Not sure. I get together now with Lori and Tim Hill on CrossFit San Ramon, and my wife and I go to dinner with them and share ideas and thoughts and what we're doing. And then when he needed coaches recently, the first person he texted me, he goes, hey, any coaches down in this area? That shit helps. I mean, to know you got someone else out there that's in your shoes, it's great. Can't count on CrossFit to do that stuff for us.
He reached out to me as well. They're great people. I've been to their gym a couple of times, and he reached out to me as well just to let me know about the coaches thing. And then I talked to an owner who is stepping away from their place not too far, a little bit west of where Tim and Lori's spot is. And I was like, well, if you want to coach, I know a gym is a great spot, great owners. And so there, I was able to make some connections there. It doesn't always work out, right? When you say I need coaches, there's not always an answer immediately, but letting people know is, I always think, the better option.
I think that's been my biggest benefit, from our local, group of affiliates that always chat. If, Ren needed a coach really bad, and I had one walk into my gym and she wanted to work full time, I was like, I'm not hiring, but I know just the girl for you. And now she's the head coach over there. I recently lost a coach and needed like a specific one. I called Adam right away. He sent a coach up my way. It's been so great to just because where else are the coaches coach board that they want to try to create from HQ is going to be great, but it's that local community of it's not working here for X, Y, and Z, but they're perfect for you. And it's just the little day-to-day things that, they know your community. I know the community. It just works really, really well. So
Yeah.
big fan. I'm excited for you guys to all come down to my neck of the woods this weekend.
We're gonna be in Zia's town. Who on this call is going? Amanda's going. I know Kenny's going. He can't necessarily come off mute. Teddy will be there. You were just messaging me about it. Becca, can you come? You've traveled every single weekend the last month. Probably doing a competition. No, okay. You're not
Trying
doing
to
a
drop into
competition.
Zia's gym. To
What?
work. I'm
You're
gonna
gonna go to Zia's?
I'm gonna break Zia's vacation rules and I might drop in and work out.
Nice.
You can work out. I'm not on vacation.
just
It's my
doesn't
gym.
Zia's just not
Yeah.
gonna work out. That's all.
I just probably won't work out.
I know. I'm kind
I'll
of
watch
concerned
you
I'm not gonna
properly.
leaving Invictus because there were some other people who are like, you should come by the gym, and I was like, I think I'm just gonna be in one spot setting up the whole time. But
Yeah.
no, it's gonna be good. It's a good spot.
Yeah.
And a good group of people, good
Hey,
food.
Katie, how do we, if I want to bring a coach, is there a separate place to log in to pay for a coach?
Yeah, so
I'll
you'll go
send you the
there.
link.
Yeah, the link will have a guest option.
Oh,
We saw that
I'll
some
send you.
people double signed up themselves while they were signing up a coach, but it was only a few people that accidentally did that. Like they went back
Greg,
in.
I just sent you the link.
But yeah, there's a guest option.
Hey, Katie.
Yeah.
I signed myself up and then I had a coach, or I had the person I'm bringing later want to go.
Yeah.
So I just added her as
Yeah.
her own, and that was okay, right? I didn't cause confusion.
You did the guest option and had to pay, right?
Right. But I just did her solo.
That's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's extremely important if they're not linked to you and your affiliate
Okay.
necessarily. I don't
It
think
requires you to enter the affiliate that you're
Okay.
coming on.
Right.
So
I
it'll
did that,
still
but I
link no
wasn't
matter
sure
what.
if it like created doubles or
No,
something.
I don't think it
Okay.
did. I went through, there were sometimes when someone's name was listed twice, it would indicate because they paid extra money to bring someone else. And then sometimes it looks like they double registered themselves on accident, but very infrequently. Like most people, it wasn't that. It's a whole new system. We didn't use this system last year for registering people. And so I was trying to kind of tinker around in it and figure out what's going on. But
I know Amanda's done this before. She's brought coaches with her. This is my first time bringing coaches because it's local, and I said that I would pay for them to go. But it is really, if you cannot make it, or if you can anyway get your coaches to come, it's very beneficial that coaching, they take them aside and they go over very coaching specific activities and things that will better them as coaches that are not necessarily affiliate owner related. So not only does it, give them some tools for their toolkit, but it kind of gets them pumped up, and they walk away from it with this whole new appreciation of, the bigger community outside of their gym, and get to be around other coaches. I'm really excited that for this one, I didn't bring any coaches with me to Denver. So I'm bringing 4 or 5, I think, to this one. And so it's really beneficial if you can't make it, just sending a coach in your place, even they'll have a great time. They do a really good job separating it out and giving them their own course book to follow, that they're not just sitting through affiliate owner stuff. So it is very, very cool.
I really like that.
It's
about
also
them.
like the whole environment. Like my crew that I took to Denver came home, and the 2 female coaches that I had there, they're leading our nutrition challenge that starts on Friday. And they like came back like spewing CrossFit glitter. So it's just the whole environment.
That's
So
great.
bring your team. I mean, I'm chipping away. My whole crew is eventually gonna make it to a summit, but we have to travel. So yeah,
Yeah, a little at a time.
yeah.
Maybe next year we'll get up your way.
The
Those
Denver one
down
was
there-
really good. They didn't
Yeah.
have there's no food around there, but other than that, it was a really good summit.
Yeah.
Oh, nowhere to
I
go
think
after.
I think that is a good point with respect to our coaches. There's, now that we've been around so long, there's a lot less local events where people can go. There's a lot fewer local competitions where people can go and interact with other coaches and other affiliate owners, and so an opportunity like this, bring them, that just resonates with me. Like I remember the first time I went to an event like this, it's like, wow, there's so many other CrossFit people from all over. And there's sure to be, 2 or 3 really cool pieces of information that they're going to be able to take back with them. But just knowing that you're part of a much bigger community than the one that you're in, every day is super empowering. Like that spewing CrossFit glitter. That's awesome.
Such a great feeling.
Exactly. There's something about that. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, and Teddy mentioned that the person she's bringing is not yet, maybe like has not taken their level 1 yet. Is that but on the
Right.
track, interested in working
Oh,
with a trainer? It's going to be
perfect.
There's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
it's nothing
Oh,
like
yeah.
the level 2 or the level 1 where you'll be in a small group and asked to demonstrate your skills as a coach. There will be none of that.
That's
And
what I was worried about. I was like, oh,
No.
don't scare her off too
No,
quick.
it's going to be a great like immersion of like being around it. There will be a demonstration where she'll get to see some coaching in action, but there won't be like and what would you do right here situation. So yeah, I think it's actually a really nice little dip your toe in it, get really excited about it. If I walked away after only going to a summit, I'd be like, I want to go to my level 1.
Hey, Teddy, if your coach is scrolling for a level 1 course before the end of Saturday, I will Venmo you coffee. I guarantee they will be checking the calendar.
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
already got one planned, but
Oh, well, there you
yeah.
go.
yeah, we're hoping that that's the one she signs up for. We have to travel everywhere too, so it's kind of like we got to find one that's a little closer. Yeah.
Never get so far enough out your way, huh?
Mm.
I'm going down. I'm staying down in San Diego this weekend. I'm very excited. A little staycation.
Nice.
Does anybody have anything that they want, any concerns or anything they would like for Craig and I bring to our next council meeting, which is in 48 hours?
Or you want Zia to text someone today about?
Let's take action right now. She'll get him on speakerphone.
Yeah, I can get, let me just text. Call.
Yeah, that's a good point. What have you guys got?
They chose us because we're outspoken, Craig.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Nothing? Everyone's super pumped and 100% happy all the time?
Kenny, are you wanting to speak? I think you're on mute. You're on mute still. Or you're just waving at us.
He looks like he's talking.
He is. He's trying
Kenny's talking.
he's trying to unmute.
Yeah, that's how I had to get off the phone because I couldn't figure out how to unmute on my phone.
That's the best way to listen to Kenny.
It's on mute. Yeah. Ferdinand, I saw your hand up too. While Kenny's trying to figure out his phone, we're gonna let Ferdinand go first, but we'll come back to you, Kenny.
Hey, I'm just a small guy in a little town, but it seems to me that a lot of the early sort of golden nuggets, which were constant out of Greg Glassman's mouth, have sort of petered off and they're kind of gone as far as what CrossFit puts forward. And so I'm curious, like how, and maybe I'm wrong on this, maybe I'm just, watching the wrong TV channels, but like how that can come back in and get pushed more by HQ to people. Because it seems like, especially this summer, like all the hubbub is about the sport and the elite athletes and stuff. And when you bring it down to the affiliate, the people who are really helping are not those people. And, some of the things that can help are bringing those, the 100 words of fitness and, stuff back into the gym, but not necessarily through the gym. Like we try to do that, but for them to hear it from another, Instagram or whatever else, which I try to stay away from as much as possible. So maybe it's out there. Maybe I'm, missing the ball here, but is that kind of petered out a bit?
I will say that there's been a little bit of a redirection back to some of the core phrases on the marketing kit. I don't know if you've got to check that recently. Things like the 100 words in Instagram form or printable poster form. The one that was just released was the needs of our Olympic athletes and our grandparents differ by degree and not kind. And so same thing, you can take that and you can use it in, you could put it out in a newsletter or an email campaign. You could put it on your social platforms, or I believe there's a resolution for printing as well in the social media and marketing and social media templates. So definitely check those on. If you guys sign into the toolkit, it's kind of the first banner below. And so the September one was the needs differ by degree, not kind. Then we did the theoretical hierarchy of the development of an athlete in July. So the pyramid. Sorry, it's kind of
Yep.
how we refer to it in the level one. And then we had the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum was back in June.
Mhm.
And then May, we did some stuff for Murph, but also in there is the 100 words in fitness in both like a black and white format. And then the one you've maybe seen before, which is kind of like a tan poster and with a big red 100. So I've seen it up in a lot of gyms before. So if someone wanted that version, that may not be exactly what you're meaning, but those are little ones that are starting to get dropped, like a little, design drip for people to use. Are you meaning more like in terms of bringing out old lectures or
Social media phrases,
but you mean like audio video versus like a print or versus
yeah,
an
yeah.
image?
I do think that during the games
But-
season, which is summer, like, July and August, especially leading up to its semis, the noise of the games division versus the others is a little bit louder just by nature. And I just think that's a byproduct of the games happening at the beginning of August. So it does tend to see more activity through the games Instagram than through the traditional pathways. And I do think that does tend to overtake in the summer a little bit just because it is in the summer. But I don't necessarily, I guess, untreaded waters to see if that will continue. I mean, I feel like with the new, Jenna just coming into place as chief marketing officer, hopefully we'll see a little bit more. I've definitely seen a lot of still CrossFit paid ads in Google. And if you search CrossFit, first thing that comes up is a paid Google ad. So they are putting a lot of money into the affiliate side of that. But I think during summer, yes, you are going to see a lot of game stuff. But I know all through the summer, there was a lot of marketing dollars being put towards CrossFit.com. What is a deadlift? CrossFit.com. Where is a CrossFit? CrossFit.com. It was funneling so much into main site, which if you have your affiliate page set up properly, if they go to CrossFit.com and they are near your building, your affiliate pops up front and center on CrossFit.com. So I've tested that in many places that we've gone when we were walking around the games. You could type in CrossFit, and depending on where you are in Dallas, a different CrossFit would pop up. So I imagine most of that will be continuing. That's a lot of what Craig and I was working on with the council and how to best get, marketing to affiliates and the best way to go about that. So I am assuming that all is still going to be continued, as that's a lot of the work that we've been doing. But I think the games will always kind of drown out a lot of that stuff, especially in the summer, because that's kind of what it is.
Well, that's a good point. And I actually had more time this summer. So
yeah,
rather than normally in the middle of the year, our population tends to drop off quite a bit in July and August. Families are on vacation and everything. So we see this an increase in people who aren't from town and a decrease in people who are from town.
From town.
And then like, the beginning of September hits and the kids go back to school and all of a sudden it's like everything's full again.
Yeah.
Like,
where
wham,
are you?
Ukiah, a couple hours north of San Francisco.
Oh my gosh. My mother lives in Willits. I am very familiar with Ukiah. Yes.
There you go. So we're the only CrossFit gym in Mendocino County.
Okay.
Or Lake County for that matter. So there's nothing within an hour from us.
I have a member that drops into your gym regularly. She is also from Willett.
Who is she?
Her name is Sarah Medley.
Keep an eye out.
That's funny.
The one thing I'll notice too, just kind of in response to that, is that there seems to be a move toward more traditional CrossFit messaging, and that's been something that affiliate owners and others have said very loudly and quite a bit on social media. What's like a leading indicator, I think if you choose a leading indicator, one is the social media or their YouTube channel. And I like what the YouTube channel does. And again, remember the social media, CrossFit social media and their YouTube channels are really interested in taking someone who's knows about CrossFit or heard about CrossFit or wants to inspect CrossFit and making them feel comfortable enough to walk into a CrossFit affiliate. And that may mean watering it down a bit in order to make that happen. We're at a different generation of fitness people now that are versus say when I started, when it was the early adopters who were looking for something extreme, looking for something intense, military, police, fire personnel. So that
Forging
messaging
elite
was
fitness.
forging elite fitness resonated really well. So now they like they want to incorporate the messaging, but they are likely to make it less intimidating in the interest of populating or driving people to CrossFit affiliates to not feel scared or feel comfortable walking into those. But a leading indicator, if you go to the CrossFit store, which, t-shirts, people will buy t-shirts, but if you go to the CrossFit store and you look at all the t-shirts that are on there, it's really kind of interesting because they really lean into like the core methodology. Like there's literally shirts with diagrams of the overhead squats, shirts with diagrams with the geometry of the deadlift. There's a push press t-shirt. There's a Venn diagram, showing where the gymnastics, weightlifting, and monostructural movements kind of come together to form CrossFit in the center. There's the pyramid. There's fitness in 100 words. These are freaking on t-shirts, which is again like a leading indicator of CrossFit's not abandoning, their the methodology, and are leaning into it.
Who's buying the Medball Clean t-shirt?
Shout out to Becca though. It's her gym. It's in all the photos. It looks really nice.
The pretty models, the pretty faces. Those are real members at Becca's gym. Helped us out with a last minute shoot.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool to see, to be honest with you. We haven't had CrossFit. This is long before we haven't had. You guys know this, and Becca knows this, Katie knows this, Ian knows this. We haven't had good CrossFit gear, that we could sport for quite a long time. The previous generation wasn't fans of this stuff, but our members love it. They love wearing CrossFit gear. They love, I sell Diablo gear nonstop, only because they demand it.
Kenny, did you want to come off mute? We'll see. You're still on mute.
I'm with him. I can't figure out how to come off mute when I'm on my
phone.
phone.
If you push the screen and then they all come up at the bottom, and then I can do it. Like I have to tap the screen and then all of the icons will pop up, and that's usually
You got this, Kenny.
He's right now. He's probably so pissed off.
You got it.
Yeah.
Alas, victory.
This better be
victory.
Good.
How do you know this is an affiliate owner call? Nobody knows how to use the electronics.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I was driving too, and I didn't want to fuck with Zooming and then having my last words be like,
I got it.
I got it. So a couple of things. It's been a minute, not too long since I've been on one of the affiliate calls. I very sincerely appreciate the tonality that the group's coming with. I'm seeing just the consistent behavior from HQ, from you, Katie, Mia, Craig. Just there's a consistent effort to hear from affiliates, which is unlike what had been, this is year 20 for us. We just didn't have that experience the prior, 16 years or whatever. So I think one of the things that came to me, and I'll just speak from a recency bias. So I've been experiencing as a gym owner, like a very renewed connection to CrossFit, despite the sort of binary tonality of people within it. So I think people are like, there's a seeming divide of like the Greg Dave crew and then the non-Dave Greg crew, and that sort of creates inertia in very different directions when in my reality, people are still speaking mostly the same language, despite personality. And I would just love, from an organizational perspective, for us to grow up and get past personality. And so the reason I bring this up is that, you know, I had a member text me, and it totally caught me on my heels. We're doing a C-suite training for HQ next Tuesday. We're also hosting the L4, so it's a busy. And then I'm going down to the gather. It's just a busy handful of days. So I didn't know, like, one of my coaches is going to coach them. I'm not going to turn up, but I think everybody's going to be here. One of our clients found out that Dave was going to come, and he sends me a text, and you know, he's like, you know, Castro coming to our house, huh? And, you know, and a question mark, exclamation point. And then he's like, after reading Luca's Reddit post, and I'm just like, oh fuck, what a shit show this is. Like, I'm going down, like, he's gone down an internet wormhole, which is just going to be a cacophony of all kinds of stuff. And then and this is a really lovely guy. I mean, him and his wife have been with us for over a decade. I mean, they've just been, like a lot of our members, they're just here. They're here for the long haul. And it's funny because I really feel that the majority of our community is very distanced from what's going on in the sport of CrossFit. There's like 10 people who literally give two fucks. And then everybody else doesn't know a name. They don't know. They just don't know. They're just everyday people living their lives. And so, you know, he sends me this text, and I'm like, okay. And I think this is an ongoing concern, that there's evidence now. It was evidence 10 years ago. It just shows up in different times. So I'm the owner. We've got a nice, stable business. We've got a client who is like pissed off, like furious with us for hosting Dave. And when receiving the text, I didn't even know that Dave was coming. So I text my coach who's going to coach. I'm like, did you know anything about any of this? He's like, oh yeah, Dave's on the list of people who's coming, da 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 da. And he might have mentioned to our client. Getting to the point is that, you know, there have been multiple moments where there's just behaviors within our leadership that are not helpful to what's central to all of us. And it's personality biased at times. And I just caution from just looking at this from a leadership perspective, like if it's personality biased a lot, we're just going to run into these things where the affiliates, myself, I'm spending an hour of my unpaid time to talk with the guy, to talk him off the ledge. And the 8 people that are as deeply concerned as him about HQ leadership showing up after a death at the games. And I had to discern like so many things. And I just listened to him, heard what was troubling him, and just go, look, this thing is so gigantic. And I just gave it to him from the lens of my perspective. He's like, why are you huddling so closely with HQ now and you never did before in all the years that we were here? And it's just like, well, first of all, HQ is for the first time giving 2 fucks about what's happening in affiliate, for real. Like it just didn't happen before, ever, unless you're boys with the guys. And then that's it. And then you're on speed dial with them, and we weren't. And so that's what it was. And I'm not burnt about that. It's just a statement of fact. And so, but I said, now, like there's in earnest, from the leadership perspective, they're really trying to get in the boat with us and row this motherfucker. And yet that in this really quiet gym that doesn't get wound up about much, you know, he's representative of, you know, I don't know, 6% of my population or something, 7% of my, whatever it is. But I have to talk about a retreat, and it's a time frustratingly spent, again, talking to somebody who's furious, and it does affect my day-to-day. Just like everybody on this call, I got kids, expenses, and a community to care for. And it's just like, these aren't the conversations I'm trying to have. I'm trying to have the conversation of, you know what we do every day changes your life for the better. But instead I'm having this alternate conversation. And so, and that's just, you know, again, I'm speaking from recency bias because it was just, it consumed a chunk of my day on Sunday that could have easily gone to my kids, to my 4-month-old. And, you know, and it was really needed. And as everybody on this call does, we make these opportunity costs and we get stuck in and we handle it. But it does cost what's very precious to me. And that's my attentional capacity on the fucking thing that I care about. And it's my community and the family. And it's not helpful to have this. Now, can we control the spin of the internet? No. But also, like, we have to get to a point. We have to get to a point where it's just the behavior looks consistent across all kinds of situations, calm, chaotic, and tragic. We just have to have it just has to be a little bit more empathy and tonality. And, you know, and having said all that, like, one of the frustrations that I've observed, even in the affiliate community, is like, I've been on calls where people are like, I'm not going to advance my training past an L1 because what the fuck is CrossFit done for me? And in my head, I'm just like, what did you lose in your, like, aren't we the people who do hard things and learn about ourselves in perpetuity for the rest of our lives? Like, it rattles my brain how somebody refuses to develop and just claim, well, it's a money grab by CrossFit. I'm like, okay, then how else are you developing yourself? What else are you doing? Teaching the same shit you did 12 years ago? Fucking great. Way to make us look great. Like, I don't see that being productive either. So I just feel like there's the hue that I'm getting from this call is like very positive. The vibe is good. And, you know, I seek a moment in time where there's just less distractions and we're coming back to the heart of the focus of the thing. And everybody on this call crushes it when it comes to making everybody's lives better. Like, we dominate that. And it's just like, just keep your eye on that ball. But we just can't not help at times to shove a grenade up our ass at times. I'm just like, why are we doing this? Why? And it's just like, this gym is 20 years in. I don't need another conversation like this. I just don't. And I said to my guy, Andy, I'm like, man, it bums me out because I've done a poor job as a leader, like, discerning for you the value that we have for holding our affiliation with CrossFit, for being part of that, you know, and it's just like, he doesn't get it. All he sees is this other stuff. And I'm just like, I'm exhausted by the stuff sometimes. It's because it's like, is it a noun, is it a verb? Is it super athletes that are dying? Is it political? Like, all this stuff, it needs to go.
Yeah.
It needs to go. We're doing one thing and it's not political. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, let's go. Let's change lives. We can all agree on that. Fuck everything else. Yeah. And I just want to see the heart of the message, like, get to that with, like, consistency.
Can I chime in on this?
Please.
I think we're like-minded in this respect, and probably a lot of people on this call are as well. What's interesting is a few years back, or, you know, since the private equity team acquired CrossFit, people were clamoring for, we need a spokesperson. We need someone to step up and be the voice of CrossFit. And what I've learned, you know, over the 20 years of doing this as well, Kenny, is that we got to be careful what we wish for. When you make that one person more important than the methodology, more important than the training, more important than the affiliates, then that becomes a single point of failure for the organization. And unfortunately, Dave's in a really, really bad position now. And he's being seen, because he's a spokesperson of the games, as the culprit for any of it and all of it. And that's unfortunate, but it also reflects upon us as the affiliates. But what I will tell you is this, that as a result of the voice of the affiliates starting to be heard, the region managers talking about the importance of affiliates and the council members talking about the significance of affiliates, there's starting to be a trend towards the affiliates being the people that are responsible for the future of this organization. And I'm going to argue with, you know, and what the point I'm going to bring to CrossFit is we don't need a spokesperson. It is up to us, the affiliate owners. But we are the indoctrination centers for everything that is CrossFit, whether it's creating athletes for the games, creating fans for the games, creating followers for the athletes that are in the games. We build that here in the affiliates. We also, I just sent 3 coaches to level 1 to get, or 3 members to get level 1 so they can become coaches. I've sent all of my coaches to level 2. We're the source for the training certifications that, you know, drive a significant amount of revenue to CrossFit. More importantly, we're the source of memberships that provide us the money to be able to pay to CrossFit that drive the bulk of their business, which is affiliate revenues. We are it. And so one of the things I've been telling the other affiliate owners is really, and especially OGs that are, you know, still competing, is it's up to us. It is 100% up to us to tell the story, to share the methodology with our members, to encourage them to participate in CrossFit, to encourage them to get certifications, to encourage them to tell their friends to participate. I have a member who is one of those tanker captains, so those big freighter ships that go around the world, and he travels around the world. You know, he will be gone for 2 to 3 months, and he comes back, and he says while he's gone, he's doing at-home workouts on his ship. But he says, Craig, I need to tell you something. He goes, I've got at least 7 or 8 people around the world now that are doing CrossFit because of what I learned here and what I'm doing here. So it's the affiliate owners that are helping spread this worldwide. And so I'm going to take your words, Kenny, and that's something I'm going to share with CrossFit is, no, we don't need a spokesperson. We need them to protect the brand. I'm going to pay my $4,500 affiliate fee just so I can be part of this gang, be part of this crew. Because with this group together, affiliate owners worldwide, 14,000, you should talk to some of these European owners. They are fucking fanatical about CrossFit and what it does for people. And I want to be part of that. When my members travel and they go to Europe and they go to CrossFit gyms and people go, oh, fuck, Diablo, I know that. They come back and they tell me, Craig, I went to this gym. They knew who I was. I was like, man, that was worth every penny of my fucking affiliation fee that I pay for my members to be able to go and do that. Now, and I'll tell you this story. If it was Craig's gym, and there were times when I thought, man, you and I, we've been around. So every 2 years there's some shit that goes down at CrossFit, whether it's a divorce, whether it's Anthos, whether it's whether it's a buyout. But there's times when I thought, you know what, maybe I ought to just be, you know, Diablo Strong or Diablo Fitness. And I've thought that. But you know what? My member, that tanker captain that goes around the world, there's 5 or 6 people around the world that wouldn't be doing CrossFit today because of that. If I was just Diablo Fitness, but I'm part of something that's much, much larger than that. It's awesome. And what I'm going to drive to CrossFit in the remaining time that they keep me on this affiliate council until I annoy the shit out of them is that the messaging come from affiliates, that the affiliates run this business, and everything else they do is to support that. And let us drive the messaging, let us drive the growth of certifications, let us drive the growth of affiliates from our community. We don't need a spokesperson. You know, I love Dave, I'm friends with Dave, you know, but we don't need Dave Castro to be front and center for the CrossFit Games. We don't need anybody to be front and center for the fucking CrossFit Games.
Yeah,
you know,
I'll give you one quick side story where my track coach was the 96 Olympic coach, and she said, and her ex-husband, Irv Hunt, was the men's track coach for 96. And we had the men's team had a bad Olympics because of a bad handoff. And she got 2 golds, and she goes, you know how everybody knows you're a good coach for the US track team? Nobody knows who you are, because everybody knew who Irv was. And it's like, it's that kind of thinking that it's just like, it's in the handoffs, it's in the team, it's in that kind of stuff, you know, let them do that. You know what I mean? And so agreed. And thank you for hearing that. And trust me, I do feel like I am all of this stuff. I've been very vocally supportive of this. And this is, to me, is like the proof in the pudding. Like, we're actively trying to make ourselves and each other better through all this work. So yeah, I'm coming. Yeah.
So Craig, I think on your what you just said, I think that we make our own spokespeople, right? The people who walk out of your gym are your spokespeople.
Yes.
And we had a guy who, as I said, our population fluctuates. He and his wife were here from Dallas for 3 months, and they left yesterday. And I walked up to him. You know, we were saying goodbye. I said, "So how's your time been?" And he said, I walked into this gym broken. He says, I was completely broken. And he says, and I am fixed. He says, I have no problems. And so they moved to Dallas in part for work and in part because they found a CrossFit gym they really liked. And they are going home and they are putting their house on the market, and they've started looking at property and moved back to Ukiah because he's like, we want to be in this gym because we
Oh
think
my
it's better.
God.
You're kidding me.
And I'm like, and you said that, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. That he's the spokesperson, right? He's the guy who's going to go out and tell people, like, I fucking left for 3 months and I was a wreck, and I'm fixed. I don't have any problems with my whatever joints, whatever else, And so when you go like, right, that he's the guy, he's the spokesperson, with no bravado. Anyway.
That's great.
When people ask you, by the way, or question your prices, ask them what that's worth. Tell that story and ask them what that is worth. How much would you give to not have to be broken? How much would you spend? Because it's worth a lot of fucking money. A lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
You guys
appreciate
are awesome.
sharing that. And I think those are the kind of messages that we need to hear from each other to each other. And I'm sure there'll be some of that circulating a bit at the games, or at the summit as well. I don't anticipate no mention of the games. But I think a lot of what that day is focused on is the affiliate owners, what happens day to day in the affiliate, how it can be better, how CrossFit can support that, and how affiliate owners can support each other. And that's kind of how we started talking about this call. So really appreciate Zia and Craig, you guys kind of hopping on and pulling a little bit behind the curtain about what you do for your role. And it's a cute dog. I something close, make sure. But anyone that's not going to be at the summit, we will miss you, and hopefully you can make the next one. Gosh, I already feel like it's going to be time for us to start planning the 2025 season of summits. I can't believe it. So thank you guys all for being on the call. We will see you next month. Tell you all how the summit went.
Thanks, Katie.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.